I have made mistakes in this business that cost me more than money. They cost me time, energy, harvest I can never get back. Today I'm sharing with you 5 mistakes that beginners make in pineapple farming so you don't have to learn them the hard way like I did. Welcome back to the African Agripreneur. I'm Kinkonu Elizabeth, and if you are new here, this is the channel where we talk about agribusiness in Ghana with honesty, strategy, and real experience. Today's video is important. Whether you are just about starting pineapple farm or you are already in the process, these 5 mistakes could be the difference between profit and loss. And I'm not just reading from a textbook. Some of these mistakes, I made them myself. Let's get into it. Mistake number one, and this is probably the most common one I see, is not being present when work is being done on your farm. A lot of beginners think farming is just about the money. You invest, you hire labor, you go home and wait for harvest. That is not how it works. When you are not on the farm, you are not in control. You cannot verify the quality of the reading. You cannot confirm that the right spacing was used during planting. You cannot check that the chemicals were applied correctly. And here is the harsh truth. Not every labor will do an honest day work when no one is watching. That is not me being harsh. That is just human nature. I learned this from my very first harvest. I was sending money whenever they asked, keeping receipts, thinking that was enough evidence. It was not. The work suffered because I was not there to oversee it. And my harvest reflected that. The physical presence on that farm, especially during planting, weeding, and chemical application, is not optional. It is part of your investment. Treat it that way. Mistake number two, not counting your suckers when you are buying them. This one sounds simple, almost too simple, but you will be surprised how many people skip this step. For 1 acre of sugarloaf pineapple, you need 20,000 suckers. This is what you are paying for. That is what should go into the ground. But if you are not there counting, how do you know that is what you actually received? In my first harvest, I did not go to count the suckers when they were buying them. I structured the process, and after harvest, when I did my calculations, I realized that not all 20,000 suckers had been planted. I have paid for them, but they were not in the ground. That missing number directly affected my yield, and my yield directly affected my profits. Go and count your suckers, every single one. It is tedious, but it's your money. Do not assume, verify. Mistake number three, and this one I felt deeply, is only checking the legitimacy of the land without checking whether animals have access to it. When most beginners look for land, they do the right things. They check the land documents, they confirm ownership, they make sure there are no disputes. All of that is important. But what some people forget to check is whether the surrounding area has animals, cattle, goats that can access the farm. Last year, I had 8 acres of pineapple at a location that I thought was suitable. I had done my checks, but when it was time to harvest my third batch of 4 acres, cattle came onto the farm and ate almost half of my produce. Almost half gone. You know what that felt like after 18 months of investment? It's a devastation. So before you lease your land, walk the entire perimeter, talk to people in the community, find out if there are cattle routes nearby, find out if animals graze in that area. Ask questions that goes beyond the paperwork. A land title means nothing if animals eat your harvest before you do. Mistake number four, paying your workers the wrong way. This is one that most people never talk about, but it can cause serious problems on your farm. Here is what I recommend based on experience. If you are farming between 1 and 5 acres, never pay your workers in full upfront. pay half before the work begins, and the remaining half when the work is completed. This way, the workers are motivated to finish the job properly because they know the second payment depends on the quality of their job. Full payments upfront remove the motivation, and you may find that the work slows down or the quality drops because financially they are already settled. If you are farming on a larger scale, 6 acres and above, the half payment approach becomes complicated. Half of a large labor bill is a significant amount of money to release before work is done, and it can create its own problems. So, for large scale farming, the better approach is to pay workers based on what they have completed each day. You assess the work done, you pay that for the day. This keeps things fair, keeps workers motivated, and keep your costs in check. The right payment structure protects both you and the workers. Don't overlook it. Mistake number 5, last but not the least, and honestly, this might be the most dangerous one, is focusing entirely on the profit margin and forgetting about your cost of production. I see this all the time. Someone hears that pineapple farming can give 100% profit, and immediately they are excited. They are already calculating what they will make. They are already spending the money in their head, but they haven't seriously thought about what will cost them to get there. Here is the reality: your profit is not just determined by the selling price of your pineapples, it's determined by the difference between what you sell and what you spend to produce. And if your cost of production is high because you weren't present, because suckers were missing, because you overpaid workers, because you chose the wrong location, your profit shrinks or it disappears entirely. This is why I always tell people, before you think about what you will make, think carefully about what you will spend. Plan your costs, track your costs, control your costs. Because at the end of the day, the farmer who manages their cost of production is the farmer who actually walks away with profit. So let me recap the 5 mistakes to avoid in pineapple farming. 1. Not being present when work is being done. 2. Not counting your suckers when buying. 3. Checking land legitimacy but not checking for animals. 4. Wrong payment structure with your workers. And the last one, focusing on profits and forgetting your cost of production. These are not theoretical, these are real. Some of them I lived personally, and I'm sharing them so that your journey can be smoother than mine was. If this video helped you, please give it a thumb up and share it with someone who is about to start their farming journey. They need to see this first. Drop your comment below and tell me which of these mistakes have you made or almost made. I read every comment and I respond always. And if you want personalized guidance, starting or improving your farm, reach out to me directly for a consultation. Subscribe to African Agripreneurs so that you never miss a video. I'm King Konu Elizabeth. The soil beneath our feet is our greatest asset, but only if we protect it with knowledge. See you in the next video.